There's breaking news. This is one of these Friday dumps. But we don't let it get past us here. There's other things that I want to talk about, but we're going to address this because they tried to throw a knuckleball, and we're going to hit it out of the park. This is the headline from the Washington Times. IRS says it lost key Lois Lerner emails. Agency blames 2011 hard drive crash for data loss. Now, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, having known a little bit about this, when Landmark Legal Foundation, the legal foundation I work with, sued the Environmental Protection Agency about a decade ago, they pulled the same stunt. And I hope these members of Congress are listening. Now, we got a court order to get forensic experts in there to take a look. The FBI has forensic experts to try and reverse the damage that's done to data. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But Congress needs to secure those hard drives before they go missing and enlist a patriotic agent from the FBI and have this hard drive examined very, very carefully to see if the information can in fact be pulled from it. Here's the story. The IRS has told Congress it has lost some of former employee Lois Lerner's emails, including some covering communications with Democrats in Congress and with other parts of the government, the House top tax law writer said Friday. Representative David Camp, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, said he was stunned that it took more than a year into the investigation for the IRS to inform Congress that it didn't have the emails. Folks, this is what I'm talking about. This David Camp may be the best-intentioned man on the face of the earth. But he's not a former prosecutor to the best of my knowledge. He's not a former investigator to the best of my knowledge. And this is basic stuff. So when John Boehner still refuses to appoint a select committee with people who know how to conduct investigations, have conducted criminal investigations, as a matter of fact, then I knew we would have these problems. I didn't know it would be this particular problem, but it's basic stuff to secure evidence, to secure data, to prevent what's called spoliation. This is basic stuff. And Congress has far more power than I did at my little legal foundation, or anybody else for that matter. So all of a sudden, here we are, Friday evening, in Washington, D.C., they tell us that the IRS has told them that they've lost a bunch of Lois Lerner's emails because the hard drive crashed. And I don't even know what that means. You've heard me on this program advertise carbonite to back up your system and protect it. I don't believe this for a second. Oh, I believe something's wrong with the hard drive, but I don't think it was just a crash. And by the way, can you imagine telling the IRS on tax day, look, my computer crashed, I don't have the data. Do you think they'd give you an inch? Do you think they'd give you 5 more hours? The IRS, which is now going to oversee enforcement of our healthcare system? The agency blamed a computer crash for the mishap. The fact that I am just learning about this 1 year into the investigation is completely unacceptable and now calls into question the credibility of the IRS's response to congressional inquiries. This is the chairman, Camp, of the Ways and Means Committee. There needs to be an immediate investigation and forensic audit, there you go, by Department of Justice as well as the Inspector General. Or, I might add, you can bring out an independent party from the private sector to conduct the forensic audit. But it is infuriating to me that they didn't get these databases secured early on. It is infuriating to me. That is basic. Ms. Lerner ran the division that gave unwarranted scrutiny into Tea Party groups, as you well know. She's been held in contempt. In emails that were turned over to Congress, Lerner described some of the files lost in the 2011 hard drive crash as irreplaceable. Irreplaceable. Mr. Camp said the emails lost were critical years from the beginning of the targeting of conservative groups. Well, of course they are. If you're going to obstruct an investigation, you're going to destroy this stuff, because to the best of our knowledge, there's not a real criminal investigation going on yet, just a congressional committee fumbling around. You're going to destroy the good stuff. See, there's no court order, as an example. No, there's nothing. Now, he said, Camp, the White House must now get involved. And this is just fairy tales. The White House must now get involved. Does he know where Obama is? Obama took off early today to do a phony visit at an Native American tribe. We allowed to say Indian tribe? I'm so confused with the damn language anymore. Everybody's offended. Then a fundraiser and then off to the links. So frankly, these are the critical years of the targeting of conservative groups that could explain who knew what when and what, if any, coordination there was between agencies, Camp said. Now, those who say Watergate was the worst scandal ever, how stupid do they think we are with this one? Oh, the hard drive crashed. Oh, the dog ate my homework. Oh, the missing 17 minutes on the tape or whatever. Oh. And let's see how these Sunday news programs really aggressively dig into this. I'm being sarcastic, obviously. Previous emails did show Lerner had communicated with the Federal Election Commission about the tax status of some applicants. In a letter Friday, IRS Commissioner John Koskinen, what is it? Koskinen. Koskinen? Whatever. House Oversight Committee Chairman Darrell Issa, who's issued a subpoena seeking IRS documents, said more than 1 million potentially responsive documents have yet to be produced. At this rate, the IRS's response to the committee's subpoena will drag on for years, Issa said. I listen to these chairmen and I say to myself, are you the chairman? You're the chairman who hold on to power desperately? You don't want these select committees? Remember how long it took to get a Benghazi select committee because Issa and McEwen and Mike Rogers didn't want one? And these chairmen don't want one for the IRS? Where you can get real prosecutors, people with real experience, real investigators to get on this stuff so spoliation and other things of this sort don't occur? What a bunch of jerks up there. Don't they know how the hell to conduct an investigation? You're up against a crime syndicate now. Don't you get it? Wherever you look, turn around. It's everywhere. Sit here and whine like a bunch of stuck pigs. Oh, they didn't give us what we... Go get it. You subpoena something, they won't give it to you? Then go through the court system. Challenge them on separation of powers. Oh, they won't give us the documents. Oh, the hard drive crashed. Oh, what are we going to do? So, Issa gave the head of the IRS until Wednesday to produce all the documents still being withheld and said if they aren't turned over, his committee will look at ways to enforce the subpoena. Hey, genius, I'm telling you how to enforce the subpoena. The IRS says it will eventually produce more than 67,000 Lerner emails. Yes, Obama will be long gone, and Hillary, they hope, will be elected, God forbid. Everything will move along. Then all of a sudden, and you remember that email from, the Cincinnati? Oh, yeah. And I'm sure the media will be all over it. According to the agency, employees such as Ms. Lerner have some of the active emails stored on the IRS centralized network hard drive, and the hard drive, of course, crashed. And then they tell us, 250 employees have worked on this. They've cost nearly $10 million. Oh, wow. A government that spends $4 trillion, that pisses money away left and right, they spend more than $10 million. And why, by the way? Is it that hard to pull up emails? $10 million? Is this the same crowd that put together the Obamacare website? Regardless of how the big media report on this, regardless of how many commenters talk about this, this is serious. That the tax collecting agency has been so thoroughly corrupted and politicized and now is involved in obstruction and a cover-up. And the impotent chairman of Republican committees there, we've been asking for this. We want everything by Wednesday or we'll have to review how we handle our subpoena and, we're going to have to... Good God, man! Don't you have any self-respect? Who would have thought that emails would disappear, ladies and gentlemen? Who would have thought that the hard drive would have crashed, ladies and gentlemen? Who would have thought that the IRS was involved in cover-up mode to cover its ass? Gee, you had to be a genius to know that? Look who runs this government, Barack Obama. Lies through his teeth about everything. It was never going to be easy. And Johnny Boehner, no select committee on the IRS. He's already blown it. I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of this now. We'll get information here and there because of legal groups, but we're not going to get to the bottom of it. No wonder we love these incumbents.